Peace, everyone. They say Ireland is a land of legends, of gold at the end of rainbows, of tiny men in green coats who vanish when you blink. But what if I told you those little people might not be just fantasy? What if they are memory of little black folk whose stories echo through time? This is the Blu Alchemist podcast, and today we're not chasing myths. We're following the trail of memory across oceans and centuries to find the hidden people of history. Before Ireland's fairies were painted white and winged, there were older tales, stories of small, dark-skinned folk who lived in hills, caves, or beneath the mounds. Some Gaelic storytellers called them the Dark Little Ones, or the Hidden People. They were said to be ancient, secretive, and deeply connected to the land. Half spirit, half human, and entirely mysterious. Were they real? We don't know. We don't know. But folklorists can't agree. Rather, these dark folk were memory, metaphor, or myth. But the image has power, and it raises a question. Why does every culture remember people like this? Far away in Central Africa, there are people whose lives seem pulled from legend. The Mbuti, the Aka, and the Baka. I said that wrong. Sorry, you all. Outsiders once called them pygmies, but they are the original children of the forest, small in stature, but vast in wisdom. They live in deep harmony with nature. Their songs are prayers. Their drum beats are communication. When European explorers discovered them centuries ago, their reports traveled across the world. Stories of tiny black people who vanish into trees. And those stories, exaggerated, misunderstood, begin to blur into legend. Some historians wonder if those tales could have inspired or reshaped the European idea of little people. There's no proof, but folklore moves like water. It flows, it mixes, it remembers. Maybe the Irish, dark little folk, weren't African at all. Maybe they were just Ireland's own ancestral spirits, its memory of tribes who lived close to the land before history was written. But maybe, just maybe, the old sailors and traders who crossed from Africa to Europe carried stories that left fingerprints on Irish imagination. It's not about proving who the leprechauns really were. It's about noticing how myths echo across continents, how the same symbols, small people, hidden wisdom, protectors of nature, keep reappearing. Because every myth, in its own way, remembers something we once knew. The little black folk, rather in the Congo or in Irish hills, reminds us of power of being unseen, of moving quietly in tune with the land, of knowledge that can't be conquered, only respected. Maybe that's why these myths survive, because they're not just about small people, they're about what happens when humanity forgets how to listen. We turn people into fairies, we turn history into legend, and sometimes that's how truth hides itself, okay? The old Irish storytellers said that the fair folk live between worlds. The African elders say the forest spirits walk beside us unseen. 2 continents, 1 memory. Maybe the little black folk aren't ghosts or fantasy. Maybe they're symbols of balance, reminders that there are older ways of being human. And maybe when we tell their stories, we're not inventing, we're remembering, okay? There's no proof that Africa gave birth to Ireland's leprechauns. But sometimes, proof isn't the point, okay? Sometimes the magic is in the connection itself, the way our stories find each other and whisper, I remember you. I'm Siquoyia Blue. This is the Blu Alchemist podcast. Stay curious. And remember, even myths have roots. Now, I was supposed to do this on Halloween, y'all, but hey, it's out today and finally got it out. I always feel like there's things going on in the world that's unseen that we don't know about. You know, a lot of folklore stories, and I've always been into those. So I'm so happy I was able to get this episode out and, just stay curious out here, research the pygmies. I mean, it's an interesting story and how everything ties together. And just want to say thanks everybody for rocking with me. Make sure you share this episode. Soon I'm going to be starting a Patreon. Just want to let everybody know I'm about to be starting a Patreon. I really would like your support. If you're rocking with me, that will help me to continue this show. Keep giving me great stories. I might even start an audiobook series soon where I just tell different stories because if you guys don't know, I am an author. So I like to write. So thanks everybody again. Please share, subscribe, and stay safe.